Hi everyone, my name is Tamit Saleh and welcome to another tennis, well I would be saying tennis Tuesday. However, I am releasing this video a day early, so a tennis Monday video, as there's some very big news, some things that have happened and also things that you need to know, which is why I'm pushing this video forward a day early. However, from next week it will be back to Tuesdays. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, as I do release weekly videos and also additional content like I have for Cincinnati and Montreal, and will follow you up with the US Open as well. My last video I was focusing on the return of Novak Djokovic, Roger Federer and Andy Murray back to singles as well for the Cincinnati Open. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll be putting a link up here somewhere and also in the description below. This video I want to look at, of course, Rafael Nadal winning Montreal very comfortably. The first time ever he has defended a non-clay tournament. It's the fifth time he's won in Montreal and Toronto, of course, the Canada Open. And it's Masters 1000 number 35, a record extending amount for Rafael Nadal. So I want to look at that and also break down the Cincinnati Draw for you guys and let you know what we have to expect in the coming weeks. So without further ado, let's roll the intro.
Here he is again. That's astonishing. It's absolutely wow.
So yeah, Rafael Nadal has won in Montreal, guys. It was kind of expected, with of course the other big two, Djokovic and Federer, not taking part. However, what a fashion he has done it in. He has completely demolished Medvedev. He's beaten him 6-3, 6-love in the final. Medvedev, of course, has been in great form. He's beaten two top 10 players to get to the final. He beat Kachanov in straight sets in the semis. So we were really expecting big things. I'll be honest with you, I thought he could even win it. Rafa, of course, as known, hard courts are tough for his body and his game. It suits Medvedev well. But I did not see a result like this coming. And it just shows, never write off any member of the big three. No matter what surface they're playing in, which tournament. Yeah, don't write these guys off because they keep doing it time and time again. And yeah, Rafael Nadal has won Montreal. This has now confirmed his second seeding for the US Open. I've said this many times, it is crucial to get that second seeding ahead of the third. As you know, the third seed has to guaranteed play the other big two to win a Grand Slam, as long as everyone progresses. But yeah, there is no way now Roger Federer can surpass Rafa's ranking even if he wins Cincinnati. Looking at the current rankings, we've of course got Novak Djokovic still on top. If we take away the 1,000 points he's defending in Cincinnati, of course he won it last year, he's on 11,325. Rafa is now on 7,945, with Roger Federer on 6,860. So yeah, as you can see, Rafa's gap to Roger is over 1,000, meaning that Roger, if he wins Cincinnati for a record-breaking 8th time, he still cannot surpass him. So what a week for Rafa. To the Rafa fans, what a week for you guys as well. Rafa played some incredible stuff, especially in the final there, a dominant display. And you can't write him off the US Open. I've been seeing many people saying the US Open is, between Djokovic and Federer, with probably 70% Novak, 30 Federer. But don't write Rafa off, guys, because he's won the US Open 3 times. You don't do that by pure luck. And yeah, he looks to be in red hot form. Personally now, if I was Rafa or if I was his coach, I would advise Rafa to not play in Cincinnati or take it easy, not push himself too much. He does not want to get injured. He does not want to get fatigued. We all know that hard courts are strenuous for his body. Take it easy in Cincinnati. You've already secured that second seeding. And yeah, if I was Rafa, I don't know, is it too late to pull out? Maybe if he tanks a bit early, he then doesn't need to face a Roger Federer or a Novak Djokovic later on in the tournament. And that psychological boost, say if Djokovic was to beat Rafa, the mental game is back with Novak now. So if they face in the US Open, Djokovic has the upper hand. The last time they faced was, of course, on the clay in Rome, I believe. and Rafa won that. So he has won the last match. The last match on hard court they played was in the Australian Open final, where Novak just demolished Rafa. So yeah, a lot of interesting things that can take place in Cincinnati. Looking into Cincinnati, we have a stacked lineup. I think the 18 of the top 20 players in the world are taking part. We have players like Andy Murray returning back to the scene. I cannot wait to see how he does in the singles. Since his injury, he's played doubles, of course. But yeah, first match on the singles since the Australian Open, which he lost in the first round in 5 sets to Roberto Bautista Agut. And after that match, it did look like maybe that was the last of Murray. We had the whole video montage, which I thought was a bit early. But yeah, they had the montage playing, so sad to see you retire, etc. He's back, guys, and I'm excited to see how he does. Rafa goes into it in great form, of course, and he's been given a decent draw. He's in the other half. Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer are in the same half of the draw. So they will face before the final. They're scheduled to meet in the semi-finals with Rafa in the other half. He can only face Djokovic or Federer in the final as long as they both progress. I want to look at some potential tasty matchups we have in Cincinnati now, looking at the draw. But before I say that, how many times are we going to have Stan Wawrinka versus Dimitrov in the first round? It's happened again. It's really uncanny. They were in the first round in Montreal as well. They're in the first round in Cincinnati. For two unranked, unseeded players to meet this early every time beggars belief, really. But yeah, we have them in the first round. For Djokovic, we could have a very tasty tie against Nick Kyrgios in the quarterfinal. Kyrgios was very disappointing, of course, in Montreal. However, he did win Washington the week before. They have a clear grudge against each other. Kyrgios has said many things about Novak, and one of the points he made was that Novak cannot be the greatest as he has never beaten Kyrgios. This is true. They faced twice, and Kyrgios has won both times, albeit they were in 2017 both matches, which of course was the worst year for Novak. So I would love to see this match happen. There'd be high drama. And yeah, can Novak beat Kyrgios for the first time? That's granted, of course, that Kyrgios does make it to the quarterfinal. You don't know with Kyrgios what you're getting. In the semi-final, of course, Novak, he could face Federer, he could face Medvedev or Tsitsipas as well. Some very tasty ties. Tsitsipas had that very disappointing early exit in Montreal. Medvedev losing in the final of Montreal as well. So yeah, that's for Djokovic. For Federer, in the third round, he could face Stan Wawrinka or Dimitrov. Personally, I think it'll be Stan that qualifies from the first round and the second round. And in the quarterfinal, he could face Tsitsipas. Great ties there. For Nadal, I would say he's got a bit of an easier draw, simply because he's not in the big threes half, or the other two big threes half. He's got Nishikori, and then he could face Zverev in the quarterfinals. Now, Zverev, I don't know, it's a bit hit and miss with him. He seemed to have improved in Montreal. However, he still crashed out. So yeah, let's see how he goes. And of course, the guy I cannot miss out, Andy Murray, back on the singles scene. His opening match is against Gasquet. Very, very tough opening match there, guys. And to be honest, his draw is looking horrific. I don't think he'll get as far to get to some of these players. But yeah, in second round, Dominic Thiem. So the winner of Murray-Gasquet faces Thiem in the second round. In the third round, he could face Zverev. And then, you've got Rafa in the semis. I don't think he'll get that far. I think it'd be brilliant if he just even beats Gasquet in the opening round. I wouldn't expect him to get any further than past Dominic Thiem in the second round. That's the draw for you guys. All the big players are back. I cannot wait for it. Some of the stuff that Andy Murray has said, I feel like I should let you guys know. He has claimed that he believes in the next 12 to 18 months, the dominance of the big three will gradually come to an end. He thinks that some younger players will probably stay in the top 5 for a longer period of time with their continued success, and they'll be the ones to knock the big three off their perch. Andy has also said that he is pain-free, which I'm sure we're all glad to hear, especially after the hip surgery he had. He's pain-free. However, his movement is not the same as before. We'll see, of course, firsthand when he plays in the singles in Cincinnati. We've only seen him in doubles where he's looked pretty normal. But as you know, the singles, there's a lot more court to cover. And yeah, we'll see how his movement is there. He's also confirmed that he will play in 2 more tournaments, singles that is, in, forgive my pronunciation, Zhenghu and the China Open, as he wants to focus on the singles for the rest of the career. I think he's played 4 or 5 doubles tournament. He of course had that dream comeback where he won Queen's doubles with Feliciano Lopez. But it's time to get back to the singles. I feel like if he does decent, or if he himself feels like he's pain-free and competitive enough, he will take probably a wild card for the US Open Grand Slam. I really hope he does, as it's great to have Andy Murray back, guys. I'm sure you agree, and it'd be great to see him in the US Open as well. I'd like to end this video by looking at the live ATP race. This is for the race to number 1, the race to win the year-end number 1, of course. And with the win in Montreal, Rafael Nadal has now become number 1 in the race. So, Nadal now has, in 2019, 7,235 points. That is exactly 500 ahead of Novak Djokovic with 6,735. Roger slightly back on 5,070. I feel like it is a 2-horse race between Rafa and Novak. I feel like Federer is too far behind for him to really challenge it. He needs to win Cincinnati and US Open for me, which will be very difficult. Not impossible, but difficult. Rafa with the 500 lead now. If he just reaches the final in Cincinnati, which he won't need to beat Djokovic or Federer to reach, he guarantees being number 1 ahead of the upcoming US Open. Djokovic, he needs to win Cincinnati to retake that number 1 spot and hope Rafa loses in the semi-finals or earlier. This, of course, isn't the be-all, end-all of this race. It continues all the way up to the World Tour Finals. Historically, Djokovic does have a much stronger end of the season than Rafa. But you never know. Rafa could win the US Open. He could do really well in Cincinnati. And then it does look like he'll take that number 1. This is very important, especially for Djokovic, of course, as he is going for the weeks at number 1 record and also the year-end number 1 record. He can tie that with Sampras, of course, and the weeks, he's about a year away from Roger Federer. Rafa's got his wedding, of course, as well, so that may play into it. But as of now, Rafa is number 1. He's leading the race by 500 points. So, yeah, it's not just the Grand Slam, guys. These Masters tournaments are just as important, as even though Novak has 2 slams this year, Rafa has 1. Rafa is still ahead. Rafa, of course, became the first man to win 2 Masters or more than 1 Masters in 2019. We've had 5 different winners in the previous 5 tournaments. Rafa winning in Montreal, not only was it his 5th Montreal Open, his 35th Masters, 1000 altogether. He's now 2 ahead of Novak in that category. He also became the player with the most Masters 1000 final. He has 51 finals now. Novak has 49 and Roger has 50. The 4th best, I believe, is Agassi on 22. So you can just see the difference in, like, this is the history of the game, guys. I think Murray is 5th with 21, Agassi 22. Boom. Novak 49, Roger 50, Rafa 51. I'll leave it there with you guys for now. I feel like I had to release this a little bit early, as, you know, big news. Rafa winning Montreal, becoming number 1 in the race. And of course the Cincinnati Draw as well. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please do subscribe as I release content like this. Check out some of my other work. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And also leave a comment, please, guys. As you know, I reply to most, if not all, comments. So yeah, share your opinions. Join the debate. Join this growing channel on the sports debate. Thank you very much.
Game, set, and match. Game, set,